Hello there, YouTube. I am Necrostevo. And that's right, it's time for round 1 of playoffs here in the Pokemon Premier League. We managed to get in there with Mega Phalanx, and we're feeling good about that. Our opponent in round 1 is none other than Gert Bilbo. And I believe it's the Old English Ice-Q, if I'm remembering off the top of my head. I've been subbed to him for a minute. This is actually my first time battling, maybe. I might have battled Gert back in like Low Tier Mayhem or something. I've definitely seen them around in many draft battles. And of course they're in playoffs, so they're no slouch here. But yeah, let's just do a quick team builder. I was really waffling over this. Thank you so much to the council, the Don Fanatic, and also Shroom Raver, and also Justin for suggestions on the team this week. Up first we have his team. Let's just give it a quick read off. You're going to notice some of these mons are running it back here. Mega Metagross, Talonflame, Hydreigon, Mega Venusaur, Alolan Ninetales, Rhyperior, Palafin, Snorlax, Medicham, Luxray, Spiritomb, and the Pyroar. So we just faced a team that the Don Fanatic had with the Palafin, the Snorlax, and the Metagross. And that was a difficult battle last week. So what do the Shadows have to bear against this team? Up first, we're going to bring back the Mega Phalanx. You can see it here. I really waffled hard on these moves. We are going to go with Close Combat and Throat Chop just so I'm not completely walled by a Spiritomb. Spiritomb doesn't look horrible into me, but I do think I have an opportunity here to just throw out strong moves. And once again, the answer might not be to click No Retreat. I actually considered running 3 moves in Protect and foregoing No Retreat, but there are some situations where the Bolt could be nice. After that, we have a Life Orb Basculegion. This Basculegion has a weird speed stat at 26 speed Jolly to always outrun a Mega Metagross by 1 speed point. I'm sorry, a Mega Metagross that has not Mega'd yet. If it's in its base form, it will hit 134. So I'm outspeeding that, but then I also wanted to make sure, wait, no, if it's at 134 and I outrun that at 135, then the Venusaur trying to creep me on that would also have 136. So actually I'm going to change that after this. We're going to do 1 more point in speed, just to try to catch a greedy Venusaur, hopefully. Venusaur could also just run max speed and blow up our Basculegion, but that's neither here nor there. Wavecraft's Last Respects and Aqua Jet, another set I really waffled on because Phantom Force looks great into this team, but I don't really want to Phantom Force and then have a Snorlax switch in on it, and then I just wasted my turn, so we might change that as well. I'm not sure yet. After that, Orthworm is back and off the bench. It has been a little bit since we brought Orthworm, but with the likes of the Metagross, to a lesser extent, the Venusaur, also the Rhyperior, the Palafin, and the Snorlax, they all kind of struggle to deal with Orthworm. Now, I also really wanted to put Curse here over Iron Defense just to power up Heavy Slam. We're just going to go with this set here. I have enough Spadef and Careful Nature to always live a modest Flamethrower, even without my Akka Berry, which I might switch to Leftovers into my Orthworm. After that, Incineroar is also off the bench. This is one Pokemon that I really wish I had in the last matchup. And so Incineroar here is running a lot of physical defense, not only for the Metagross, but this also enables me to possibly live Palafin with the Mystic Water, going for a Wave Crash at -1. And then I'd be able to Parting Shot it or just get off some chip damage with a Drain Punch. Fake Out has the opportunity here to be really powerful. I don't really want to rely on berries so much this week. I really wanted to put a Chople Berry onto Incineroar over the Citrus Berry. But if the Pyroar comes and it has Unnerve, then it won't matter anyway. But Drain Punch is also nice for the likes of the Hydreigon and the Snorlax just for getting recovery back. And with an Adamant Nature without any investment, I should be able to 2-shot a Hydreigon. It's like a 65% roll in my favor to 2-shot. After our Incineroar, we have Noivern, Air Slash, Super Fang, Tailwind, and Protect. We have the Sharp Beak on our Noivern this week, because if we are Sharp Beak boosted and we have max special attack, not only is that just decent burst damage, but we don't have to run the inaccurate Hurricane, And depending on the bulk on Venusaur, if it is trying to go faster, I can one-shot a Venusaur. And if it's slower, I always two-shot it if it's like slower with max HP. But I honestly would welcome a max HP one, because that will mean that my Basket Legion should always outspeed it. And then our final member is our Torterra, with Earthquake, Woodhammer, Rock Tomb, and Wide Guard. This is a much more defensive Torterra this week. No attack investment, and a fair amount of Spadef. The Spadef here ensures that we will always live something like an Ice Beam coming out of the Alolan Ninetales with our Yachi Berry, and also it enables us to live something like a Heat Wave or a Flamethrower coming out of the Hydreigon with enough HP left over. With Earthquake and Woodhammer, I'm thinking that we can just throw off moves, but if we see the Alolan Ninetales and maybe even the Hydreigon, we might just Wide Guard in front of those. And Rock Tomb allows me to hit the Talonflame without being stuck in there against it. I am highly expecting my opponent to have Focus Sash on their Talonflame, so I need a way to hit it and ideally slow it down. But yeah, that is the squad for this week. We made it this far, so even though this matchup is horrible for us, we're still going to give it our best shot. So thank you all for watching the team builder, and let's get ready for the battle. Alrighty, thank you for watching my quick team builder. We can see that Gert Bilbo has his Mega Venusaur, Spiritomb, Medicham, Mega Metagross, Talonflame, and his Hydreigon. And boy, is our work cut out for us in this matchup.
Scissor me.
Now, as stated before, we decided to forego the Mega Glimmora just because of the Palafin Mega Metagross situation. Also, Glimmora doesn't necessarily like facing the Venusaur. Like, yes, I can chunk it, but it's going to one-shot me with Earth Power, so I think that this was the better situation overall. In Game 1, we're going to try to lead off with our Noivern and our Torterra. This will give us some immediate pressure. I can also match Tailwind if I need to. I was a little dismayed, honestly, at seeing this matchup because I was like, oh man, I brought a Yachi Berry for no reason. But as I was picking my team here, I realized actually Metagross and the Medicham can both carry Ice Punch. So that might not be a completely useless item in this matchup. But Gert Bilbo, prepare yourselves. It is time for us to battle. We see him lead off with Mega Metagross and the Medicham. We see that the Medicham is also rocking the Focus Sash, so we know we're going to need to hit this thing twice in order to take it out. There's a very good chance of a immediate fake out here as well, and maybe a Mega Evolution. He could also be Scarf with Coaching. That could be annoying as well. We're just going to try to get damage on the field. I was watching some of Gert Bilbo's battles, and he is very, very good at positioning and being patient about Megaing. So he does not always Mega immediately. I decided to protect my Noivern here, and that was a mistake because we see a dual target into my Torterra slot. Fortunately, I had the Yachi Berry, but unfortunately, we get flinched. That is a gigantic flinch. I would have broken the sash on the Medicham and done critical damage to the Metagross. We would have been sitting pretty. That also would have allowed me on the following turn to finish off the Medicham with an Air Slash and kind of go from there. But now there's just nothing that I can really do. And yes, it was a little bit passive to go for the Protect. I thought we would see a fake out into the Noivern immediately. I do go for Air Slash hoping for my own flinch. That would be a little bit of payback. It wouldn't necessarily make up for it because you can see here that this Iron Head is enough to take down Torterra after the Ice Punch. But we just lose both of our teammates right here. And that feels quite bad. This is honestly kind of a lost battle at this point. In the back we have our Phalanx and our Incineroar, but because Gert Bilbo did not Mega Evolve, the Clear Body is going to stop him from being able to be affected by my Intimidate, so he's going to have plenty of damage output right here. What can we do in the situation? Well, I should be able to outspeed the Medicham with my Phalanx. I also should be able to put solid damage down onto the Metagross. I could also just try to fake out the Medicham, but that felt really, really obvious. So instead of taking the obvious route here, I decided to go for the Flare Blitz into the Metagross slot. Fake Out would have just finished off the Medicham, unless he went for Bullet Punch. But we see no Swap Out, we see no Bullet Punch, and I was like, oh man, I should have just hit the Medicham. I should have just gone for it. Psychic Fangs does a lot of damage given that I have +1, and the close combat, it is a good thing that he is intimidated because this damage coming out of that close combat is immense. Citrus Berry brings us back to around half health, and we can see that if I had hit that Earthquake, this Metagross would have been KO'd for sure. Now granted, if I hit the Earthquake, it might have forced him into Mega Evolve earlier for more damage output, or maybe he would have saved it. But I really should have just targeted down the Medicham with a Fake Out, because now there's nothing that I can do. No matter what, someone's going down right here. And while I can take out one of these Pokemon, it is unlikely that I'll be able to take out both. We do see the Mega Evolution from the Metagross, and I was thinking that Metagross might try to protect while the Medicham throws off a priority move. We do see the priority move, but it is faint. And that actually ends up working out because I am going to be able to take out both the Medicham and the Mega Metagross here. Now, I did it at the cost of 2 teammates,
count 'em, 2,
and almost 3/4 of HP out of both of my remaining Pokemon. So not great, but when I saw the Talonflame, I was like, this battle's over. Talonflame here is just going to be faster with the Gale Wings boosting the priority of the flying type moves. So even though I have the speed, it does not actually matter. So we are going to try to break the Gale Wings, was my thing, just like my thought process here. But it doesn't really matter. There's just not a lot that I can do. And also, the Venusaur is going to outspeed my Incineroar and hit it with an Earth Power. And even though I am, a very bulky Incineroar, we're a more physically bulky Incineroar. And so that Pokemon goes down that turn, and I can't do anything about the Brave Bird. It's going to outspeed me and outprioritize me. So I think that we actually could have won this battle, but we cannot dwell on that. Against a strong opponent, you must move on and figure out what the heck you can do. And so we're going to swap it up in the next match. And here, I kind of want to see what I can do if I think that it's a little bit unexpected to not bring Failings. I've shown a predilection around bringing Failings and kind of going, yeah, make a Failings. So we are going to try to win battle number 2 off of the back of our Orthworm alongside most likely, I was kind of waffling between the Incineroar and the Basculegion, and you can kind of see me moving between the different options here. I still like Noivern because I know Noivern will outspeed the Medicham, but I was thinking maybe I should just lead off with Orthworm. Unless he leads with Hydreigon or maybe Talonflame, it's a pretty good bring, and I don't necessarily anticipate him leading off with the Spiritomb. Spiritomb would be a very bad lead for Orthworm. Yes, I can hit it with Heavy Slam, but I'm probably going to get burned, let's be honest there. But yeah, we are also going to go ahead and bring our Basculegion to the round 2 here. And I want the ability to switch from one of my Pokemon into the Orthworm, maybe on a resisted hit. And the other thing that's nice is that if he brings something different, I want the immediate Frisk to give me an idea of what he has on those Pokemon. So match number 2, we have our work cut out for us here. And we see a switch up in the lead here, Hydreigon and Medicham. So I definitely wanted to pay attention to the Choice Scarf. I was so dismayed seeing that Choice Scarf. I was like, welp, that could just be really bad. I was hoping here to maybe not trade Fake Outs, like maybe he didn't have Fake Out, maybe that's why he had Faint instead of the Fake Out, for example. But I was like, if I can Fake Out the Hydreigon and then put up my Tailwind, that really mitigates the Choice Scarf issue. So that's what we're going to try to do. But what is more likely to happen is I'm going to try to put the Tailwind up, he'll Fake Out my Noivern, I'll Fake Out his Hydreigon, and it'll be a null turn. But that is not what we see. We see a Fake Out into my Incineroar, and then I just get exploded by Draco Meteor. Knowing that he knows that I know that he's Choice Scarf.
They don't know that we know they know we know.
So I didn't think he'd lock into Draco there. I thought he'd go for a Dark Pulse. And with my HP investment, I knew I lived a Dark Pulse. Not the case. We just get one hit KO'd. Fortunately, the one thing we get out of that situation is that he is minus Spadef right now. Or not Spadef, he's minus special attack right now because of the Draco Meteor. So here I'm expecting this Hydreigon to swap out. And now we do have to remember that the Medicham is intimidated at this point. And so I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is predict him to swap out this Hydreigon into either the Metagross or the Venusaur. And we are going to try to get our boost on our Orthworm before he kind of puts on too much pressure. We see the Venusaur come in, but we also see Close Combat go off into Orthworm, and my goodness, that did so much damage at -1. I thought I would take that better. Maybe it would have been better to just go straight for a Heavy Slam there to break the sash. We go for Flare Blitz on the Venusaur swapping in, and because we're adamant, we're able to pick up that roll, and it doesn't hurt that we got the crit. Now, if he were any sort of bulky Venusaur, we needed the crit to KO there, absolutely. But if he were just like an offensive Venusaur, like say he wanted to get the extra speed there to try to outspeed Basculegion, we should have KO'd even without it, just because of our nature. Now I do really wish I had just broken the sash on this Medicham, because now we're back in functionally the same position, and once again my opponent is threatening a Draco Meteor. Having +2 defense on my Orthworm doesn't really help me out here either, and I was like, okay, what do we want to do here? Do we want to try to body press the Hydreigon? I might live a close combat from +2. There's just some bad 50-50s happening right here. And so what I end up doing is going for Protect with my Orthworm, expecting him to target down the Orthworm because he doesn't want it to keep on accruing boosts. We get half of that correct, but I am not at high enough HP to take advantage of getting that call correct. My Incineroar goes down, and this is looking really rough here, because the only way that I can really KO the Hydreigon is with the body press. Now, I do know that I should be able to live a move coming out of the Hydreigon. What I'm going to try to do here is predict him to swap out and go for last respects. We get that call correctly. We get the Dark Pulse in here, but I don't live once again. And I do have some Spadef, and I'm Careful Nature on my Orthworm, so I thought I had a shot at living that. One-shotting the Talonflame as it comes in was very satisfying after it blew up my Mega Phalanx in Game 1. But even with me being immune to the Fake Out right here, that's going to be the game, because I cannot outspeed the Hydreigon before it hits me with a Dark Pulse. And that battle just was so, it went by so fast. Gert, thank you very much for the battle, sir. You played very well here, and best of luck in the rest of your playoffs run. And that is it for the Shadows and PPL Champion Season 2. In Season 1, we had a 5-week season. We went 2-3, I believe. We either went 2-3 or 3-2, but we did not make playoffs. So we performed better here, making playoffs, which felt fantastic. A couple of other things that I just want to shout out with my team for this season is just how well they did overall, because I really think that Mega Phalanx is a very difficult Pokemon to build around. I probably wouldn't draft it again unless I had access to 3 Megas, then I would definitely draft them in that situation. But 2 Megas, drafting Mega Phalanx is just very constricting, but I had a lot of fun building with it. Some of the things that were kind of cool on the MVP race is that our Mega Glimora was 6th overall, going 12-5 across its games, followed by Torterra being 12th overall, going 10-2, and Basculegion 21st overall, going 9-10. Before that's just regular season stats, of course. That is not with the playoffs here. But I really think that Glimora is a great Pokemon to pick up in draft. You can even see that with Gunk's Glimora, if you all think back to battle number 1, where I decided to not run max speed on my Glimora, and she summarily KO'd Mega Glimora with regular Glimora. Very silly there. but Gunk's Glimora was actually number 3 overall. So that right there is just enough to tell you how strong of a pick Glimora can be, at least in our division. Having 2 Glimoras within the top 10 on the MVP race. Very, very cool. But yes, who on our team were you the most surprised by this season? I'd love to hear some feedback there. And who do you want to see me use in the future? I'd like to see some feedback from you all there as well. Thank you all for watching our season. And honestly, I'm enjoying Champions a fair bit, so you will probably see us doing another round of this. I'm not burnt out on it yet, but it's still fun. So thank you all very much for watching. And I hope that you have a fantastic night. I will see you in the next battle. In the meantime, good night.